We make choices every single day. What we're going to eat, what we're going to wear, what we're going to do for the day. We make choices every single day. All of us have decisions that we have to make one time or another. And the same thing happens when it comes to the things of God. We're still talking about Moses. Welcome to this episode of Single Sundays. We're still talking about Moses, destiny over luxury. Which one will you choose? Oftentimes, we choose the easiest route. We choose the route of less resistance, and that's just sometimes human nature. But how many know that sometimes we have to go beyond what is comfortable? We have to go beyond human nature and tap into something greater, and that is our purpose. Purpose dictates that we go beyond the comfortable or our comfort zone. It's very rare that we tap into greatness in our comfort zone. It's very rare that we fulfill purpose in passivity. And so if we're going to fulfill purpose, we can't be passive. If we are going to do anything great, we cannot do that in the comfort zone. And so your comfort zone may look different than the next person's, and the next person's may look different than yours. However that looks for you, you have to identify that comfort zone, that area of comfort, that area of passivity, that area that says you're okay like you are, and push beyond that. And so Moses, the Bible says in Hebrews 11, I'm going to read a bit of this, Hebrews 11:24. By faith, Moses, when he was come to years, refused to be called the son of Pharaoh's daughter. So Moses knew who he was, but there was something greater. There was a greater knowing. How many know that you know certain aspects about yourself, but then there's a greater revealing? When you come out of comfortable, there's a greater revealing. There's a greater you that God introduces you to. There's a greater revealing of God's purpose. And as God reveals more of his purpose to you, he reveals more of who you are to you as well. And so Moses decided, I'm mature now. There's some things that we get away with when we're younger. There's some things that God says, okay, you're too young for this right now. And so there's some things that, God doesn't introduce us to until we come of age. When Moses came of age, there was some things that he had to decide. And he decided, I'm going to choose God. He decided, I'm no longer going to choose comfortable. You are coming to a place in your life and to a place of God's purpose where God is saying, you're coming of age. You're entering into a stage and into an era where you can no longer choose comfortable, when you no longer can choose to stay in mediocrity and be okay. There's more calling for you. There's more crying out for you. There's greater. God is saying, come up here, come up higher. And so we have to push past our limits, push past our comfort zones. You have to identify your limits because you and God know what they are. God